This is Ace at the Plate on WCWPSports.org.
Alrighty, we're on, and we're here. Well, it's actually just me right now. Of course, that's how we usually start the show these days, isn't it? It's just me, and it's no problem. You know, people are insanely busy. And I got a lot of opinions today, and I'm sure the group is going to have a lot of opinions today. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm really, really excited. So we're just going to get straight into it, and I'm just going to lower the music now, cut out the audio completely, so you just hear my wonderful voice. And listen, here we go. So I know this is now old news by the time, we're live on air. But the World Baseball Classic, I voiced my... We got to talk about the World Baseball Classic. So, what do we got here? I mean, listen, I voiced my displeasure with the World Baseball Classic. And I don't think that it is, at least at the beginning stages, a competitive baseball scene. However, that was my stance, and that's been the stance at Ace at the Plate, according to Ace, But my stance has completely changed. The WBC is, I'm not saying it's revolutionary. I'm not saying that this was even close to World Series caliber baseball. But I'll tell you this right now, that those games that the U.S. played that I watched, right, toward the end, I got to say, that was some competitive baseball. And listen, I started watching with Japan, right? I started because the U.S. has not really gotten that far before, and no one expected them to, including me. And I'm like, you know what? There's no baseball. There's no regular season yet. The U.S. has never gotten this far. Why not, And that wasn't the only reason why I tuned in. The other reason why is because I have a fascination. Excuse me 1 second. I have a fascination with baseball in all countries. I have a fascination with baseball in other countries besides the U.S. Not because, I'm watching it and it's not U.S. baseball, because that's just not my reason. My reason specifically with the Asian baseball is that it's another country that takes baseball as seriously as we do. We have fans in the United States like me and like, millions of others that take this game very seriously, meaning that the fans are so into it. It is literally a national treasure to watch baseball in this country. And in Japan, let me tell you, it's a pleasure for them to watch. And of course, you could see it in their fans. But also, listen, I knew this because we know that Japan is a big baseball country. Baseball is a big deal. That's why in Tokyo, in the Olympics, baseball's coming back to being an Olympic sport because of Tokyo. Because you can't have the Olympics in Tokyo without having a baseball tourney. That's how big baseball is in Japan. So it's not just, it's big in Japan, though. That's a big plus. I love seeing the transition of Japanese baseball players coming to the United States and succeeding, hopefully, right? I usually root for people like that. So seeing a lot of these people who might come to the United States in the future was interesting to me. And that wasn't the only thing, though. There's a different style of baseball in Japan, right? It's not something that could just be explained, written on a piece of paper. That's the difference. But it's seeing, Japan is literally on the west coast of the world. And the east coast of the world. I'm sorry, I misspoke. And the U.S. is on the west side. So seeing the game that I love and seeing the game that we all love played exactly the same. It's not played exactly the same, but you know what I'm trying to get at. Seeing the game that we love played between two countries that just love this game. It just, to me, it's beautiful. I know that sounds cheesy. It sounds, that you're making it up to be something else. And I know there's a bunch of other people in the business who don't see the same eye-to-eye thing that I see with the World Baseball Classic. But I got to say that Japan versus USA game was incredible. I mean, the starting pitcher for Japan was lights out. I mean, let's be honest. He was amazing. And that guy, honestly, he's probably going to come to the majors. I mean, he's got to come to the majors. And then this other guy, I don't know his name exactly because, again, it was like, a week or two now? But Senga, like this one guy, Senga, oh my gosh, when he came in, I know that he eventually sort of screwed up, but, man, he was lights out. It was insane. I honestly was like, these guys have risen their stock. And they were immediately written about in a majority of baseball blogs. So, listen, it was great. And then, listen, the only reason why I just want this to be on the record, wow, those players, the U.S. and the Japanese, they played on one of the worst baseball days I've ever seen in my life. Welcome, Joe. One of the worst baseball days I've seen in my life where, in terms of the rain, I'm like, how have they not canceled this game yet? Or how have they not even taken a break? And to my amazement, those guys played. Because if you looked at the base paths, I mean, it was complete mud. I mean, you could put a pig in that and it would roll in it. So it was amazing to actually see them play, let alone to see the different styles of baseball. And then, and I'll fill Joe in. Joe, you ready?
Yeah,
just adjust your mic. All right, so I was talking about the World Baseball Classic, and I was explaining how great I know I tuned in late. I already explained that to the audience, but how great the contrast. I'm specifically talking about the USA versus Japan, that game. I don't know if you watched it.
I didn't really watch that game. I watched the championship.
Okay, but I watched both, but. Also, I was just getting into the muddiness, the raininess of that game was ridiculous. I can't believe they let them play in that. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to move on now to the championship game. Mm-hmm. So after that one game with Japan, I was like, all right, I was intrigued. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, now I got to watch the rest of it.
Dougie.
Yeah, there we go. So now, after I watched the USA versus Japan, I sort of had to watch the championship now to finish it off.
I'm proud of you for that.
And you know what, though? I got to say, and I got some strong words to say, because I'm not going to put it lightly. This was the biggest B team of the U.S. I've ever seen put out there. I know that there were some stars like LeMahieu and stuff like that, but this was the B team, and they were not expected to do jack, right? They weren't expected. No, I know, but come on. Like
he was during the tournament.
This was But this was obviously the B team because, I mean, come on, there was no Trout, there was no Harper, there was no Syndergaard, there was no Kershaw. This was the absolute B team of the United States. And that's why at the beginning of the tournament, I saw all these names. I'm like, this is not, like, close, right? This is not going to get us. I saw, like, Chris Archer pitching, and I know that he's not so bad, but, I mean, he had a terrible 2016. I wasn't feeling the magic. But, boy, when I saw that game, it wasn't even – listen, that game was a blowout. Eventually it got boring because it wasn't any competition.
Marcus Stroman almost had, like, a perfect game. Or,
like,
I
know.
Actually.
It was a no-hitter into the seventh, and it was great. And I know that they won, and I know that everyone is all lovey-dovey. And it's sort of ironic that the U.S. won because, again, in like, Puerto Rico – and I'm going to explain this story – but Puerto Rico and all this, I mean, they take it so seriously, the World Baseball. I know I sound like,
they do. They do. They're very passionate.
Sort of like, I sort of sound condescending, but they take it so seriously. But in the U.S., it really doesn't mean a lot. And no one really cared. I mean, to be honest, I only watched from the Japan game. And because the rest of it was completely irrelevant. And and like I told the audience earlier, I have a fascination with like Japanese baseball. They play baseball differently. And by the way, and I said to them, they only lost because of the rain. I'm just saying they only lost because of the rain, because all the it was like errors with the slippery ball, the money, and I mean, their fielding was lights out, and that pitcher's coming to the U.S., that starting pitcher for Japan. I don't know if you watched the game, but it was...
I'm trying to remember his name.
I forget his name because it was like one of those long names, but he was amazing. And anyway, listen... Lugo pitched for Puerto Rico, and he didn't. It was just a mess. It was like 8-0, I believe. It was
Lugo
like
didn't do that horribly.
It was mostly the errors and things like that. But to be honest, it's so ironic that the U.S. won because, I mean, everyone on that team had like a 210 batting average. It was so weird. It was just because they got the big hits when they needed them.
Yeah, we consider Adam Jones as your premier guy. I mean, like, he used to be a great
like, B team.
In the game,
this was like this is a B team, you know, and that's why when the U.S. played their best people, and it's like, I mean, when the U.S. didn't play their best people, and then like you got Japan like playing their seriously best people in Puerto Rico, basically getting all the major Puerto Rico people in the major leagues, it was like, wow, that's sort of sad. The B team just smashed everyone, and it was like, it's sort of funny. And guess what though, the you know, they, and why I find the Japanese thing so why I'm clinging on to this is because you know that team trains for 4 years. They
Wait,
keep
together?
Yeah, they keep that team together for the entirety of the world. But they're forming their team now, and they're going to. The GM is forming their team now, and they are going to train for 4 more years. So they do this every day for 4 years. That's how big it is in other countries. And the U.S. is a joke. We just form the roster together of who's here.
Just throw out anyone. It's just like, hey, you want to play for us? It's fine. Like,
yeah. So isn't that just incredible? That's just like you didn't know that. But yeah, I learned that during the tournament. I go, wow, these guys have been training with each other for for the past 3 years or wherever long it is, and they just take it seriously. I'm like, wow. Because like in the
Good
U.S.,
for you guys.
in the
Good for
U.S.,
you.
right? It's just not serious. So when I saw them, and it was so great seeing the winning. And Marcus Stroman deserved the MVP because he was the only one that actually had a great performance. Yeah, you could argue with Adam Jones and the big hits, but come on, you had like a 230 batting average. Ian Kinsler, and DJ Mayhew, whatever the heck your name is, Nolan Arenado, my bad. All of them were bad. All of them. I know that
Paul Goldschmidt actually didn't get more playing time.
Well, here's the thing. The manager Leland, he only played like his same guys, and that was that. And
yeah, Murphy didn't play at all.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's good. I didn't want to see him.
They don't need him out there. You know.
I don't want to see Murphy. Like I don't like Murphy. I don't want him contributing to the Team U.S. win. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I'm happy about Jim Leland though. I mean, that guy, after seeing him with the Tigers for so many years, gets so close to a World Series.
Yeah,
they actually get this as like it's not the same thing, obviously.
Yeah, but
it's
here's
like
the thing.
It's like Melo saying like, "Oh yeah, I'd rather win an Olympic gold medal than win like a championship."
But
like,
here's the thing, though.
No.
Here's the thing.
Not a
I
thing.
can't help to think that for most of these players, as sad as this is going to sound and as bad as this is going to sound, this is going to be the closest they ever get to winning. I mean, everyone on that Marlins team must have been so hyped. And they were. They were like, this was
like
the biggest
Yelich,
thing.
like Stanton. Yeah.
Yelich, this is it, guys. You're not getting any closer, so frickin' bask in it. And you'll be remembered. The first, you'll be remembered. It's just not going to be a World Series.
When someone looks you up randomly on Wikipedia for like World Baseball Classic, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
Yeah, so that one weirdo looking you up going, Christian Yelich playing the World Baseball Classic.
Not us, right?
Yeah, it's not us. I'm like 20 years down the line. It's like, oh yeah, now I remember.
Yeah, so I mean, like, let's get real. I mean, who else? There was like all these guys. They're not winning anything, all right? Unless they're traded or they sign somewhere else. If they plan on being in Miami for life, you could kiss a championship goodbye. Okay. Seriously, so
I mean, they're getting
enjoy.
closer as long as Loria sells the team. Actually,
Hey, say what you want to say. They have 2 championships in the past 20 years.
I was about to, that's
I listen.
touche,
I could say that.
sir.
You know, I could say that, but they look terrible.
Yeah.
And as
no, they're not going anywhere.
they're not
anytime
going
soon.
anywhere anytime soon. I bet you this. I bet you my debt will be repaid, my student loan debt, and they still won't have a championship because. And as terrible as this sounds, and I mean Jose Fernandez and stuff, that set them back so far that I think it's going to be a whole new
That was
reset.
a huge blow.
That has to be the
like-
biggest reset of the biggest reset, and the reset didn't even happen yet.
Yeah.
That,
They didn't even get back to there.
they didn't even get back, and like Jose Fernandez, I mean, that's it. But listen, we gotta move on. Did you guys watch the baseball classic? Because I rambled. We got 2 minutes. Did you guys?
No. Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean,
Yeah.
just you got all the points across. I mean, it was a blowout. Marcus Stroman,
Because I watched
I think is
it.
ready for the next step forward. Actually, as
Yeah,
potential perennial ace.
Yeah, no, I mean the Blue Jays. I mean, I gotta say, Marcus Stroman looked good. He looked. I mean, when I saw it, I'm watching the game. I'm like, Blue Jays fans are probably hyped right now. If this guy could take that type of performance in the season, that's a difference maker.
I mean, that guy was passionate, though. When he went to the dugout, and then after there was a double play, I think in the 8th inning, he screamed from the dugout, F you, towards, like, the whole entire...
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Before I forget, did you guys hear about the Yadier Molina thing? I know I texted both of you. I was sort of pissed. I was sort of iffy on, like, because, like...
I didn't really hear about it.
Well,
I mean,
Abe-
it was more
Abe
that Adam Jones and them,
told me, but-
they were upset before the game because the premise was that Puerto Rico was already planning a parade for after the game, like as if
Like they were gonna win.
But no matter what, they were supposedly be having the parade because they're just so proud to have their team. In the
Oh,
baseball
I didn't know
classic
that
and
part,
getting, like,
because-
some medal or whatever. Because
Is
like that's what they planned it anyways, regardless of what happened. Because those guys are national heroes, like across
Yeah.
all the Caribbean and Latin American countries. So going there, so that like Adam Jones is like, yeah, we got pissed off, like we got fire underneath us because they already think they got it in the bag, so we want to show them an extra something. And Marcus Stroman's like, are you kidding me? But it was just like the premise behind it was kind of lost because it's a different cultural thing.
yeah,
It's like-
I honestly, at first, I sort of was on Molina for that because I did think that it was just planning, but I didn't know they were going to have it anyway. So
Yeah.
if they didn't have it anyway, then it was going to be a big deal. Then I was going to rant about it. But I didn't think it. At first, it looked like that, like we were going to plan it because, I mean, let's be honest, I thought that team looked better. So,
It wasn't just all the dyed hair.
no, and there that surprised me. But by the way, we got like 12 seconds. I'm going to throw us to break, and we got a lot to talk about with the Mets. The season's collapsing, baby!
Informal stress relief and a relaxing way to get to know your neighbors? Try adult coloring. It's like coloring for kids, but harder to stay in the lines. It's on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. in the Port Washington Public Library. For more info, call 516-883-4400 or visit pwpl.org. The community calendar is a public service from your friends at 88.1 FM and WCWP.org.
You can promote your club or event on air. Email us at info@wcwp.org.
You're never too young for yoga. That's right, Beth Lipsett will lead children and their caregivers through simple yoga poses. Come relax and have fun on Mondays all through March at 10:15 a.m. in the Manhasset Public Library. For more info, call 516-627-2300 or visit manhassetlibrary.org. The community calendar is a public service from your friends at 88.1 FM and WCWP.org.
You're listening to Ace at the Plate on WCWPSports.org.
Listen, we're back, and Joe is in the bathroom, so Joe's not with us. But we sorry to
It
rat
didn't
him
seem
out.
like he died. He's like, Joe's not with us
Joe
anymore.
is not with us. But listen, you know what? I gotta say that this Joe, what is his full name? So I
Jung
don't
Ho
butcher it?
Kang.
Yeah. So listen, but by the way, I gotta tell you a story on him. Mets were looking I think it was 2014, and it was going into 2015 season.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who was on this guy to sign? Guess who was on the Mets to sign him? This guy right here, Ace.
Really?
Ace at the plate was screaming for Jung Ho Kang or whatever the heck. all
Yeah,
right?
Joe Ho Kang.
Joe Ho Kang.
Your Korean's getting better.
I remember all the Mets blog articles, and I was screaming, "Gotta sign this guy. This guy could be." I don't even think the Pirates signed him. I mean, I don't know.
It
Listen,
wasn't a ludicrous
it wasn't
contract.
ludicrous. It was still money. Listen, he looked good. I know people were like, "Oh, well, the home runs they can't transfer from Japan," and I was actually making this point when I was talking about Japan versus U.S. before you both got here about why I'm interested in all of it. I love seeing the players come in trying to make the switch because it's just that fascinates me.
Well, he's even in a worse league in the
But
KBO.
here's the thing. Okay, well, he's in KBO. But yeah, that's even worse.
That's even worse. That's like
But-
double A compared to
But
Japanese.
you
like,
know
AAA.
what, though? He had a heck of a year in Pittsburgh before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he almost won Rookie of the Year until he got hurt. He was in my list. He was going crazy. But it turns out, and no one really knew this, the guy has had like DUIs and
Yeah.
what else?
Okay,
Give
so
us the
I've
work.
got the whole entire laundry list here of
Give
what
us the
this
works.
kind of scummy person's done. So He has a myriad of off-the-field troubles, as we can clearly tell from not only his most recent DUI incident where he fled the scene of a crash, where it's just like, oh, that's great. It was actually his third DUI this winter in South Korea.
Yeah.
So,
saw the
well, no,
video.
it was his third one, but he had two previously, and there's suspicions that he might have had one in the United States, and suspicions that he might have had one in Japan as well. So this guy's just like an international, like diplomatic, like.
I saw a video.
Really?
That they released a video of him drunk driving. They had like a he
I
had
didn't
like
see
a
the video.
he had like a video on his dashboard, like a camera on his dashboard or something like that.
Dumb?
And it was just like ridiculous.
Wait, he
It
was-
like,
it
it was as if he was.
I hear it was like
It was as if he was driving with his eyes closed.
Yeah, like it was pinballing
ridiculous.
against
Yeah.
cars, like on the side of the street.
Dude,
But he also
this
has
guy-
sexual assault claims against him in Chicago from last year. But he wasn't charged because they weren't able to locate his accuser. So that's still up in the air. I mean, obviously innocent until proven guilty,
Well,
but
if you
that's a
can't-
little damn
if you can't-
suspicious.
well, listen, this guy apparently, and no one expected this. No one talked about this. No, I don't remember hearing anything about a DUI when the Mets were talking about him and all the other guys were talking about him. And everyone was like, on Mets blog. You go on Mets blog every day for a little while, for like a little. They got, Mets blog with their comments. They have their own little sprees, right? And I know they're watching the video right now. It's sort of crazy, but.
With an exit velocity of 50 miles per hour. That's so
Yeah.
good.
But guys,
Just
back to the
awful.
thing. So
Sorry, like that was just
problem.
oh my god, that was
but
comical.
you know how Mets. I don't know if you guys go on Mets blog like every day or every
I
couple
do.
of days.
It's not as
And you
big as
see,
it used
you
to be.
read the
No, it's not.
comments. You read the comments though, and they all have their own. I call them phases. Where the comment section will have one general theme all across the articles, and it will be like a phase. And one of those phases, especially with the short stuff, it was the Tulowitzki phase, which was everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, with Tulowitzki in the lineup. Here's the lineup with Tulowitzki. And for a while, it was Jung Ho Gan, and no one was talking about DUI. I don't think anyone knew
No
about
one knew
it.
about it.
Yeah, so it's sort of strange that this all comes up.
I don't know if
and
it's
now,
in South Korea that they don't release those reports.
but now he's been denied to come back.
Yeah, his visa, he's been denied a work visa to come into the United States, which is the only way he could actually play for the Pirates. this
Unless
season.
they're going to Korea.
Yeah, which, I mean, like, I don't know. We might be seeing some expansion in the future once we
Yeah.
get supersonic planes going around. But right now, I mean, it makes sense because DUI is grounds for like revoking an already issued visa, and it's like you need to go to a physician first. So him being denied this visa already, it's kind of makes sense for any regular
So do the
person that would be
Pirates-
in this circumstance.
Do the Pirates have to pay this guy?
That's an interesting question, actually. I mean, I
Because-
think they still have to because they're under contract, but I don't think there's unless they built in a clause
So-
in that contract that he was denied work visa reasons or that he had like a 10th DUI or something like that.
That
which they
is-
swept under it. Which is hilarious that this guy's
I
gonna be
don't know.
losing millions of dollars just because he's an idiot. where you
If
just be
they
like,
don't
"You guys
pay
don't drive
him,
me."
he might be paid to stay at home. I mean, because he can't get back here. So listen, you shouldn't be given any special treatment if if that is something that gets denied. If you had a DUI or you have them constantly, then if that's gonna not let you in, then you know what? I mean, it's not like he did nothing wrong. I mean, he's done a bunch of stuff wrong, and that's sort of bad, especially in this short span of time. This baffles me almost as much as Henry Mejia doing roids again. I mean, it was like, what?
It's just like, come on, man. I mean, but the thing is, in South Korea, they're extremely lenient too on drunk driving. Like,
No,
I know
I
this.
see,
for a
I
fact,
don't know the
they
culture.
are extremely lenient. Like, so if you go in there and you're drinking, and you're caught by a police officer, he's like, all right, so we're having beer or soju, which is like a mix between a wine and a vodka there. That's a Korean drink. And so then the guy says beer, they throw you in a cell for a little bit, they let you sober up, and then they take the breathalyzer and like, oh, yeah, you're under. Go on home. And especially with a star baseball player, where they're treated like royalty, not only in Latin America, but in Japan and South Korea, you must have done some real damage and
Yeah.
really embarrassed yourself to have them actually get you for a third time on charges. I mean, and also the visa thing. I think it's 2 DUIs within a 10-year span, and you're not allowed to get the
Yeah,
work visa.
well, you
But
blew
when you have
that
3
one.
within 2 years.
You blew that one. So, yeah, you're not coming. So, listen, that guy is bye-bye, all right? And luckily the Mets dodged that bullet.
Still not as stupid as Mejia though.
Yeah, Mejia
Still
is
not as
that's
dumb.
the,
I mean,
me.
you get caught 3 times with a drug test, positive drug test.
I remember.
He's like, no, guys, no. Second time, he's like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe. Third time, he's just like, no.
And
Yeah.
now,
Yeah,
and
I have no
now
control
this
over
is
myself.
now
Sorry.
this is now the perfect transition because we have an update on Familia suspension, sort of. I don't know if you
Oh,
guys
really?
heard about it.
Well, he's meeting with Manfred
He's
today.
I know
meeting
that.
with Manfred today. We don't know
we'll
what
see.
the verdict is. We don't know. Judge Judy, someone turn on the TV. There is no verdict, but he's meeting with Manfred. So does that mean it means it's probably going to be maybe there's something? I don't know who assigns these punishments. Is it Manfred himself?
I don't know.
Is it the big bad wolf?
I think it's
or-
Manfred in collaboration with the MLPA.
So-
MLB. Actually, I don't know.
I mean, I'll check Twitter. Joe, are you on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter right now. Yeah.
We got anything?
No, nothing yet. I just know that he's meeting with Manfred, and it'll likely be a suspension. We just don't know how long. I mean, if I had to take a guess, I would say it's about a month. I'd say it's about 30 games, but I don't know.
We'll see what happens. I don't know. That's just keep watch on that. The Manfred watch, I guess.
The Manfred
The
watch.
Manfred watch. And then moving on, we're speaking about another pitcher, our main man Steven Matz.
Steven Matz.
Pottery class broken Matz. I don't know.
Steven made of rice
All right.
paper.
Yeah.
Matz.
So let's talk about this.
What
is
the
this?
hell is going on with
Elbow
this kid?
soreness or what was
I
it?
think
You
there was
know
a
what?
slight breeze that blew in and tore apart his elbow. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure
think he
at
tripped
this
on a
point.
blade of grass
Yeah.
or something. I mean, look, I don't know how much longer we can keep going with this guy. Year after year, it's this. I know we had Tommy John too.
Yeah.
Um,
2010, after he got drafted in 2009.
So
I mean, do we have any more information? Is this
It's-
guy going to miss any time?
It's
I'm
good to
looking
know
on
we
Twitter.
have depth with Lugo and Gazelman, and even Zach Wheeler. He looked great in his start today. But it's a shame. It's nice to have a lefty in there.
Yeah.
I mean, this
so
guy,
with
listen,
him out.
this
it's
is
a
one of
blow.
the things where, guys, not all these aces are going to have perfect careers or even be aces, right? I mean, we keep talking about this. People are going to get exposed.
It's
And
still a pretty good rotation, though.
Yeah.
It's a great
So
rotation.
it's still a
probably
rotation.
one of the best in baseball
no.
still.
Still
I
a
made a
rotation.
joke to Joe earlier today when I saw him. Season's over because
Season's over.
like this is this going to start the chain of reaction that we got last year? But here's the thing: we have Lugo and Gazelman, and we have Wheeler, and all three of those guys have showed in camp like hard. Well, except for Lugo, he showed in the World Baseball Classic, but still, I mean. Throwing a pretty solid lineup, I mean, in some of the teams. So, I mean, I'm not really that afraid. I really think that, I'm confident in whoever gets that last spot if Matz ends up missing some time. He might not, but, I mean, Steven Matz is hurt again, and it's sort of just, when does it end?
I don't know. He's feeling a tweak in his elbow, and they're thinking that's from his arm slot angle that he's throwing it in. It's putting too much stress reaction upon that elbow every time he snaps
That
off.
throw from a different slot.
But throw it from a different slot. And how much is that going to change it? Like
It's
you're
irritation.
You're just
That's what
off-putting
it
a
is.
little bit of a small injury, but by changing his mechanics, you set yourself up for a major injury that this kid could get. Like I'm talking about like rotator cuff torn, like labrum torn, stuff like that. Like it might not exactly be the elbow, but trying to just push off the injury or some pain to a different area is not that good.
I got an article here from Newsday. It just says Sandy Alderson, he said, quote, it's worrisome.
He said, no, it's worrisome that he continues to be injured off and on. That's the difficulty. He's like, we don't think it's serious, but like every single time you see someone with the starting pitchers to rely on them every 5 days, but you can't do that with this rotation. Except for like Noah Syndergaard, where I'm still praying to God that I'm looking at his elbow. I'm like, when's it going to snap? Like, when's it going to snap? But
Tomorrow.
I mean, Matt's he did throw from 70 feet today.
Oh,
But
and he
he's-
said he felt good.
But then he talked to Terry Collins afterwards, and Terry said that he was feeling a little bit discomfort. And Dan Warthen's going to work with him now to change up that arm slot.
Oh,
so
my
it's like this is
gosh.
just peachy.
You know what this is? This is reminding me, and it's not as bad, but Rafael Montero before. He's having a good spring,
it's not
by the
too
way.
bad.
But he, like, the guy would make up his injury, or he didn't have an injury. He was like, remember?
They're soft. That's the thing. That's why I think Sandy now is starting to be like, all right, you're soft. Because DeGrom last year, he's like, it felt like I had someone punching my funny bone every single time I tried to throw a pitch. And he didn't say anything about it until, what, like September? Like, and so that's the difference here is that Matt's like, I think Sandy Alderson's alluding to the fact that he's getting frustrated because it seems like Matt's doesn't have the grit of the older players where it's like, you know what, I'm feeling a little bit discomfort, but let's pitch through it. Like Randy Johnson pitched through actually like a herniated disc until like the second to last start of like this 2006 season.
these guys are big leaguers. Like, grow up.
Yeah, right.
Well, listen. It hurts to be a big
I know it's
leaguer.
easy for us to say.
Yeah, I was about to say,
But
but
you know
you've had
what?
the experience though.
Yeah,
But it hurts though.
I actually threw with a fractured elbow, a fractured throwing elbow for like
Are you serious?
2 months. Yeah, until I couldn't take it anymore.
I mean, listen, it's
Damn.
it's
Yeah.
tough.
I'm squeezing my elbow just from the pain thinking about that.
It's tough, and it's not like you're gonna go out and pitchers feel 100%. Pitchers never feel 100%, like ever. And it's a tough job. It's not easy. You're in pain all the time. I mean, it's just how it is. I don't know how Syndergaard does it. I don't know how all the other guys do it, but everyone else does it except for Matz, who just has these problems. And part of it was like an irrational fear or something like that. But I mean, that's what they were saying. But it's sort of just it's plaguing his career, and it sort of shows that. Pitchers they're fragile, but they're just I don't know what it is, man.
I mean, when you talk about that irrational fear, is it from like after his Tommy John surgery that he's just continuously afraid that he's going to break down or be hurt, or is it just his mentality?
It could be.
No. It's a fear that he's going to break down and get hurt, and it's so weird. Like it just shows. I feel like this career is going to be an injury plagued career. This is or a typical Mets career.
Right. Yeah, I was about to say, what's the difference there?
Well, there is none. And, by the way, really quick, I got to mention, John Neese was cut by the Yankees. Right?
Yeah.
Really?
You can't make that rotation. Ooh, dude, they're telling you to retire.
You know what? He's not meant for that ballpark because he's
No, he's not.
He's a fly ball pitcher,
It
which
doesn't
might
mean-
work in a place like City. Well, really, it didn't even work there.
Wow. Wow.
But in Yankee Stadium, I mean, forget it. He would have
Especially that
gotten
short porch
eaten
over there.
alive there. There's no way he would have made the rotation. Even the bullpen.
Do we have numbers on him? I mean, if you don't mind pulling them up, because I'm sort of curious. But
How was he with the Pirates last year?
it was terrible.
Oh yeah,
He started out great, and then he was terrible. And he had his best game against us.
Yeah, he did.
That game, he was like lights
us
out.
out.
Of course, he had his best game against us. Well, I mean, his career ERA is 4.07. That's not horrible, but it's not nearly the best. With a WHIP of 1.38, definitely not good. But last year he had a 5.5 ERA when 20 games started. That's not numbers that are going to translate to any team. Especially
Yeah.
if you're at the Pirates, where they've revived everyone's career from like Ivan Nova.
Well, I'll tell you what,
So they
John Neese, Robert Gazelman can thank John Neese for kind of giving him a shot because what happened, you remember that game versus St. Louis last year when Jonathan Neese started and he didn't even get out of the first inning? And then that's when Gazelman came in to make his debut.
Oh yeah, because they
And
won
he
it.
and he pitched like 5 solid innings.
Yeah.
And then ever since then,
People are like,
Gazelman,
oh wait, this guy's good.
Yeah.
He's just flown under the radar as a prospect. It's very interesting. When
We
you
have
think
met
about it.
Well, he's
somehow
still
find
young.
a lot of those guys.
he's only 23.
Oh god, I hate
It's
myself.
it's great, to see. And by the way, now we've got to address another thing that happened, and we all know. And I don't know if anything has developed, but Juan Lagares is he's.
I know you were ecstatic when you heard that.
It
that
sounds
he's-
terrible, but I
he's
want.
just like Conforto.
I
not
want-
because he doesn't like Lagares, but loves Conforto.
I gotta get Conforto on the roster, dude. You gotta get. They're a better team. I mean, I think to go as far as they're a better team with Conforto on the roster, 100%. The guy's having a heck of a spring. By the way,
like
Bruce
365.
Bruce is not having. I mean, I looked at his stats.
Bruce is hitting like 200. this
He's
spring.
not having a good spring. So the thing is, the Mets, if they want to win the division, I mean, it's got to click. All right, I just don't want the Mets to somehow have this offensive stretch where they fall back and then it's like they don't do anything for too long and they lose too many games. I know that that's an irrational sort of fear, but I'm telling you, they're gonna roll. They're gonna let Bruce have his whole Duda stretch of 2015, and they're going to have Bruce do that while you got Conforto rotting. And a Major League scout said that there is no holes in Conforto's game. The only hole is the mental games that the Mets are drilling in him to go back to AAA. The guy looks as ready, and it's not just, he's having a good average. He looks better. I mean, the at-bats, if you watch his at-bats, they look better. He seems to have sort of learned his ways. Maybe it's luck, maybe it's skill, maybe it's a little bit
Well,
of
you're talking
both.
about his offense, but what about his defense? Would he or Curtis Granderson be a preferable option?
Well,
at center
here's the
field?
thing. I mean, with Lagares out, and we still don't know too much, but I mean, you don't have a real center. Nimmo's gone. Nimmo's got a hamstring.
Yeah.
So
Thank you,
you
Team Italy.
don't have you don't have a real center fielder, and you have Granderson, yeah, but what is he? He's 36. I mean, you can't ask him to play center field every day. So, and Conforto even said he'd be on the big leagues even if he's on the bench, which again, I don't know.
That's not ideal.
It's not ideal
He's got
at
to
all.
play.
But
Yeah.
he's got to play though. So, I'm just saying, man. I don't know. I don't know what this opens up. I don't know what you do. By the way, I read this weekend, Ty Kelly's roster spot is in danger of him not making opening day. Do you want to know why? Because some of these relievers, they might carry a few extra relievers on the team because they've been performing, like Montero. There's another new guy that just came out of nowhere. I don't know his name because he's sort of new, but they've liked his performance.
Seawald?
I don't know his
Oh,
name.
the lefty? Is he
No, Seawald's a righty.
I have no idea who it
I
is.
don't
I think it did it start with a C?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But listen, Ty Kelly's spot might be in danger coming from his highs of the World Baseball Classic. I just thought that was entertaining. But no, I mean, listen, we'll see how the year starts. I'm willing to give Bruce a chance. I'm just saying, if he has a bad month, I don't care. I don't care who he is. I don't care. You go, how many years you been in the big leagues, and how bad are you right now? I mean, that's what I was saying. You can't sit the veteran. Look at him. He's got all these accomplishments. And I go, well, that was the past. We got to move on. Bye-bye. You can't hit New York? This city's rough. It ruined you. You're weak.
Didn't he
Can't-
have New York on his no-trade
No.
clause, like the Yankees?
No, but he didn't want to come here. He just didn't want to come here. It was and it was.
If he didn't want to come here, then why didn't he have the Mets on his no-trade clause?
I have no idea.
He had the Yankees on his no-trade
I
clause.
have no idea how that happened.
Which is ironic, because he would rake in that ballpark.
Yeah, but New
I don't know,
York
I don't-
destroyed that guy. And listen, we'll see. I'm not saying that he's not.
I
gonna
wish
have a
him the
good year.
best. I mean, for our sake.
Yeah, for our
Jesus.
sake.
No,
and
I
also,
wish
like,
him the
maybe
best,
get a
but
nice
I'm just
trade chip.
saying.
Yeah.
If it's going to be shown, and people go, well, spring training doesn't mean anything, and you're right, but I mean, and you're definitely right, but I mean, I'm just saying, I don't want to, I could see it already.
I
I
don't
could
really think
see
it
it.
means anything either.
Yeah,
I remember
spring training.
I remember Scott. Remember Scott Hairston?
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that guy. That guy had the greatest spring training I've ever seen.
Well, so did Kirk Newenice.
And so did Marlon Anderson. Marlon Bird.
Yeah.
He actually
Scott-
ended up
Scott-
being pretty decent, though.
Scott Hairston, I think was batting 400 with 5 home runs. Or
He
something
had
like
the
that.
greatest spring I've ever seen.
And it was legendary
Yeah.
performance there. But then craters to earth. And then you see other
Yeah.
players that are phenomenal, prestigious players. Well, Trout's always phenomenal. But even a Miguel Cabrera could be hitting 250, and then the regular season comes by 320.
Yeah.
I'm just
really-
saying, man.
But Jay Bruce, I mean,
Because those guys are gamers.
yeah, those guys are gamers,
just-
and so for them, it's just more of just trotting out there. They're like, oh, okay, fine. I already know what I can do. With Jay Bruce, it's I don't know. It just I'd rather have these options than have a scrambling and trying to figure out all right, where can we fit Ty Kelly into our lineup?
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
That's
Ty
what I'm
Kelly
talking
might be
about.
thinking about, where do I fit in this lineup? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I might be back to AAA. Coming off my highs in the baseball classic and the wild card game, I might be in AAA. I could
He's
just
got
imagine.
1,000 career postseason batting average.
Yeah, I think
How
you
about
should.
that?
I think
Yeah,
you should,
that's a great fun fact.
You should just leave when you're on top. You know,
Yeah,
you
right.
should just.
I wonder if Gary Cohen would actually get that if you asked him. It's who's the all-time leader? Saying,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But again,
stump Gary, it's impossible.
the New York Mets. It's a week away from today.
I'll be there.
I'm so
Yeah,
ecstatic.
you lucky SOB.
Be there.
I'm gonna be cutting class. I'll tell you that right now. My professors
Oh,
are
I'm gonna
listening.
be
Bye-bye.
watching. Don't
I'm
worry.
gonna be in my bed watching.
I
that
was
game.
antsy. Yesterday, I saw on Pix or whatever it was. It was them against the Braves. I was like, oh god, we're almost seeing. I can't believe this. Man.
It's going to be.
I wonder how
fun.
that new ballpark's gonna. I haven't seen it.
Braves?
I'm sort of waiting for it.
I think it's more of a hitter's park actually now.
I'm waiting. I haven't seen any pictures. I'm just gonna wait until the first game. I'm just
I
gonna
don't know-
wait until the first game. Just
I
to
don't know
see
how
what
it
the
is
heck.
dimension-wise on the field, but it looks really nice. The stadium itself looks really nice.
Yeah,
so.
it's the
Not
newest
that I'll
stadium,
ever
right?
be
It's
yeah,
sort
I
of
was about to
like.
say, but it's one of those things to put on the bucket list. AT&T Park's one of those. For
I
me at
wonder.
PNC.
PNC,
I mean,
PNC,
how
I
far
loved.
is Atlanta from here? Because the 7 line goes. So
I'm
but
gonna
they go
say
anywhere.
probably 12 hours.
Well, I'm just saying, road trip. Let's check
Yeah,
out the
'cause
new ballpark.
Road trip.
Yeah, because for me, going from Virginia to South Carolina was about 8 hours. So, and Atlanta, Georgia is a little bit further.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
it's like
it's always so. What was
Yeah,
the
you gotta
newest?
fly.
What was the newest one before that? Miami Miami was that one? The newest one before this?
I think so, actually.
It's not too far apart.
Yeah, I think Miami.
I think Miami, then City Field.
How do you think? I mean, how do you think City Field is going to hold up? I know that it's fine. Like I'm just saying, like
It's not. Yeah, it's not going to be like something that gives a wow factor like the Yankees try to do. Because every time I'm at the Yankees, I feel like I'm walking through a mall, not like walking around a stadium.
There's no charm to it. It's
no
like,
charm.
Yeah.
It just seems like a completely like. Not to sound like a
But
social
we got to go to
statement,
break.
capitalist.
So you know what?
Yeah.
The Yankee thing, we'll find
You know
out
what,
one
forget
day.
you,
know
Yanks.
what? Forget.
Not sure what a hashtag is? What's a tweet anyway? Instagram? This introductory class on Wednesday, March 22nd at 6:45 p.m. in the Gold Coast Public Library will help learn about tweeting, posting pictures online, and other mysteries. For more info, call 516-759-8300 or visit goldcoastlibrary.org. The community calendar is a public service from your friends at 88.1 FM and WCWP.org.
MyWCWP.org is your source for LIU Post Campus Radio. Listen live 24/7 on the web. Check out our videos, link to our social media, and get in touch with us. It's all online at MyWCWP.org.
Hands up! We're the Boston Burglars.
It's okay. Put your hands down and simply listen to the Boston Burglars as they perform many styles of popular music from Irish to Latin to rock and more. It's on Sunday, March 26th at 3 p.m. at the Plainview Old Bethpage Public Library. For more info, call 516-738-0077 or visit poblib.org. The community calendar is a public service from your friends at 88.1 FM and WCWP.org.
You're listening to Ace at the Plate on WCWPSports.org.
So listen. The season's a week away. It's gonna be. It's gonna be great.
rowdy.
It's gonna be rowdy.
Great
It's gonna
crowd.
be great.
It's going to be awesome.
Did you see the picture of? By the way, you mentioned speaking about the Braves. I know we're playing them, but there was a picture with Bart today. It was like Bart
it was
and
Bartolo
Hansel Robles.
and
You
Hansel
better not have
Robles.
lost any weight.
No,
He looks the same.
Damn
Yeah.
straight.
It
I like it.
It
I
sort of
love it.
gave me a little bit of a
Big
quick,
sexy.
a quick
Yeah,
nostalgia.
big sexy.
Big sexy. I hope he has a good year today.
Yeah.
Just,
I hope so. He's just one of those lovable guys, and also he's one of the last players that played for the freaking Expos. That's still in the majors.
him and what's his face, who's injured now from the Rockies.
Ian Desmond.
Yeah, Ian Desmond.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy. We got to forget about that guy. That guy's nobody now. All right? I know he had a little bit of a bounce back year, but when you turn down $107 million and you put up a really bad season, you're a loser.
Yeah,
So,
like you
I
gamble.
mean-
He gambled big time. Like I don't know anyone that could gamble even that much money, and he ended up losing $50 million.
You have to be a fool.
I think the
An
Rockies
absolute
could be a good team this year. They just
Yeah.
gotta
I'm
because they've got a
rooting- those
really
are one of the teams
great
where
offense.
I'm rooting for them, and I'm also
Who?
rooting. I'm rooting for the Rockies just
Yeah.
because they're the Rockies, and I'm
Yeah.
rooting for the Mariners because they're the Mariners. And
Mariners are a solid team.
no, I'm rooting for them, and the Padres are like the Mets. So
Yeah,
those are teams-
I do
those
the
are
Padres
teams-
also. It's
I
the same
cannot-
thing. Where
I
it's just like, you
can't-
know what? They're like, we're the little brothers to the Yankees. The Padres are like our little brothers. We're just like, you guys are just gonna suck always. But don't worry, you do
Yeah.
you. Try your hardest.
No,
all right.
honestly,
Bartolo hit a home
yeah,
I
run.
gotta-
Bartolo hits a home run off you.
I gotta be honest. San Diego. I bashed Miami for never winning. Boy, I mean, if the day that team sees a championship,
They sure do
I'm
have a
done.
nice stadium, though, from what I hear.
Yeah, I heard that.
No,
It's
they
like-
got a
It's
beautiful
beautiful.
stadium. They got like all this building in it.
Yeah,
or something like
they
that?
actually have an apartment building or something like that. That's part of it. That's where Bartolo's home run went.
That's
Yeah,
where
I
Giancarlo
know.
Stanton,
Oh, he landed on the roof. I think.
took a few bricks off.
By the way, real quick, that sort of reminds me, and this is sort of X-rated, but always watch out on those Blue Jays games. I know that we don't have them that much, but I'm just saying, like, that hotel, like, there are so many pictures online, and I haven't looked them up, but people always post them all the time. Like, whenever like the Blue Jays, I'm on Twitter all the time.
Wait,
Where's
what
this
is
going?
I mean, I'm like, wait
This
a
is
second.
going
Like,
bad. Yo, people need to close their curtains
Oh, boy.
on that hotel. Because,
Wait, in Toronto?
yeah.
I've never heard about this.
You've never heard about this?
No.
Dude, all the time, there's something embarrassing that happens in one of the hotel windows, and then everyone sees it on TV or in the stadium. And it's like either...
This is a family game here, people.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you're going to buy a hotel room overlooking the game field, which I have to say, that has
That's
to be...
pretty cool. That's
Watch
pretty
the
cool.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
As long as you're making
don't-
love to your girlfriend
Yeah,
and just look
don't
out the
do
window.
that, or don't walk by naked or something like that because the whole stadium says hi. You know, I'm just saying, like.
Actually, imagine one time I had the whole entire FBI building, and never mind, we won't go.
Yeah. But listen, listen, I'm so hyped for the season. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's happening. Whether Mats makes it across the finish line, will he be breathing by the end? It's gonna be a fun, wild ride, and I hope things go well because I'm gonna tell you this right now before the season starts. If the Mets play the Nationals, like when they do, they need to play better than they did last year or we won't win the division. I'm telling you that right now because we play against them a bunch of times, and the Mets were so bad against the Nationals. It was like each game I was so hyped. I'm like, this is the Nationals game. This is the Nationals game. And every year it would be disappointment. Every year, well, it wasn't a year, but every game, Daniel Murphy would. And I was just waiting
I
for
think Murphy had like a third of his RBIs and home runs against the Mets
Dude,
last
he
year.
hit like
Killed the
500 or something against the Mets. Every
And also,
time
Bryce
he came
Harper
up.
does really well against the Mets, too.
No, he doesn't.
Wait, doesn't?
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Harper actually is terrible against the Mets.
Yeah, he
I
barely.
rescind my
hits-
statement. Harper's awful against the Mets.
Yo,
right?
he's one of the worst players against the Mets
No,
in the
he's really
history
not
of anyone
good.
who's against the
Oh, wait,
Mets.
actually, no, I thought no, you're right. He hit like 220.
I'll tell you the national Met killers right off the three right off the bat. Daniel Murphy,
Yeah, I can't
Right.
believe that name.
Trey Turner, at least recently,
Yeah, what we saw in that half season.
and ready for it, Clint Robinson.
Clint
That guy
Robinson.
kills
Well, I'll tell you this.
the Mets
I'll
and Wilson Ramos,
No,
but he's
no, no,
gone.
no.
Yeah,
Well, I
like-
was about to. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
And then, well, there were a few other ones, but they're gone now. Jimmy Rollins killed the Mets. Even when he wasn't on the
Oh,
Phillies, he
Pat
killed the
Burrell.
Mets.
Pat the
Burrell.
Bat.
And
That guy was the definition
what's
of a
his
Met killer.
name?
Met killer.
What the heck is his name?
Or Chipper Jones, who even named his
Chipper
daughter
Jones.
Shay. Because
See,
he
that-
crushed the Mets so badly that he loved
that doesn't really tick me off as much because the guy's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's a legend Hall of Famer where
But
it's like, you know, I'd tip my cap to
Pat
him.
Burrell,
Pat
like
the Bat, who
Met
I know is the
killer.
biggest douche
You know
nozzle
who,
that's
and
ever
you know
existed
what?
in the
Oh,
game.
by the way, you know who got released by the Nationals? Mets killer
Derek
Derek
Norris.
Norris. He never
He got
played.
released?
Yeah,
he
he
got
got-
why did he get
released.
released?
He never
He got released because
played.
they picked up Matt Wieters.
Yeah, they got Matt Wieters.
So who's their backup? Lobotone?
Yeah.
Jose
Yeah,
Lobotone?
yeah, it's Lobotone.
So they released
and
Derek
Derek Norris
Norris.
is now with
Hey, you know
the,
what?
Rays.
If I'm the
he got signed.
Oh, he's with the Rays. I was gonna say
They got
Mets-
both of the Nationals catchers, and one of them didn't even play.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You signed this contract. Okay, yeah, no, this could work. He didn't get one at bat. They
Nope.
already released him.
Well, I was actually thinking about it this week, and I mean, with the Mets catching situation, Travis d'Arnaud went
Well,
0
that's
for 12.
great. Well, that's great
Throwing out.
because
0 for
yeah,
12 throwing
in a
ball.
game.
Yeah.
and Joe texted
in a
me
game.
In one game?
Yeah, in a
Yes.
game. That's why I said.
Well, if you have Syndergaard and d'Arnaud, that's just a
That's
recipe
just-
for disaster. So
By the way, but speaking about that, Terry, because of that game, he's like, "We're gonna get Renee in on opening day." You know,
Renee's going to be your personal catcher now.
no,
But
no,
this
they're
is serious.
ditching
I
that.
mean, look, Travis d'Arnaud is not Mike Piazza offensively. You know, if he was hitting 30 home runs a year and driving in 90, I could live with the poor defense. But he's not that guy.
I'm still gonna.
and he's worse than Piazza
no,
behind
wait,
the
wait,
plate.
wait,
Which I thought's kind of impossible to be
Wait,
impossible.
wait.
He
And
is
I know this is gonna
awful.
seem crazy, but I'm about to defend this guy still. All right.
Ugh.
And here's the reason. Here's the reason.
A single is a
Wait,
double.
wait.
It's an automatic double.
Here's the reason. Okay. Number one, it's spring training. All right. If we're gonna give Jay Bruce a pass, we're gonna give d'Arnaud a pass, considering he's had.
like a
But
track
wait
Jay
a
record.
Bruce
minute.
has a track record. The
But
guy's
wait
hit
a
30
minute.
home runs.
Wait,
the past
wait, wait,
Yeah,
wait,
for
wait a
years,
minute.
past 6 years, he actually is averaging 28 home runs.
But okay,
and
but
90
watch
RBIs.
this year. I'm predicting it. He's gonna have a terrible year. But just watch, okay? Just
Well, I
listen,
hope not for him.
listen for a second, because he's not gonna be on the mound. He's gonna be here for like 2 weeks. Conforto is hitting too
You're
well.
thinking like an Ike Davis type thing, like
Yeah,
gets
he'll be gone.
traded in late April.
Why? He'll hit the grand slam. That's how I'll know he's gone.
That's how we'll know.
That's how we'll know. But listen,
All right,
listen,
coupons,
listen.
you got it.
The
Listen.
coupons, the Will Ponzi's.
Listen, so d'Arnaud, right? He's first of all he's hit, and I know that's not the problem, but I mean this is just we never expected him to be this defensive guy. We all knew it was a hit type of thing. You hit to stay in the majors, and I know that I know all that, but it's just like, man, I
Unless you're Wilmer Flores,
well,
if you
here-
hit, you sit.
here's the defense.
He hits Flores'
Here's
guts.
the defense.
He's like, just cry for us a
Here-
little bit.
Just thought I should bring that
And
up.
this is what I learned from the World Baseball Classic also. It wasn't the World Baseball Classic. I'm sorry. It was someone said the stat. I know I've heard it. Do you know that like the league average for a catcher to throw someone out stealing
Is
second,
28%.
It's low, right? Now I gotta know Darno's.
And Travis d'Arnaud is 22%
now, here's
in
the
his
thing,
career.
Though. That is such a low percentage across the league. That is
But still, that
is
6%
low.
could translate across
6%?
162 games.
That's not even 10%. I mean, it's a cheesy defense, but I'll tell you this though. It's the offense. He was never supposed to be, this defensive catcher. And I know it's 5 out of 12. I doubt that will
It wasn't
happen.
supposed to be a Molina.
It
but,
was
like,
also spring training. And speaking about Molina, his is like 45%.
Yeah.
He's like more than double of
That
anyone.
guy.
That's a Hall of Famer.
They were actually talking about him on MLB last night. They're thinking about giving him an extension.
Well, first of all,
Really?
Yeah.
How old is he? Like 36?
Well, that's
He's
the thing.
old.
They're not going to.
I don't
at
think
least
they should,
They
to be honest.
suggested that they should not go more than 3 years. 3 years would be the maximum.
But here's the thing.
He's 34.
Here's the thing, though.
Damn.
What do you
Feels
think
like
about?
He's been around forever.
What do you
Yeah.
think about this? And I'm only going to say this because Evan Roberts suggested it on the Fan the other day. He said Matt Harvey for Yadier Molina. Are you doing
get
it?
real.
I said
No
no.
way.
I said no.
Matt Harvey at least still has, upside. He's only, 26,
No, but-
Yeah,
27?
26. Yeah, and
I
also
mean-
the fact that you want to trade him at his lowest
Well,
value.
well, here's the
Yadier
thing.
Molina, his prime years
Are gone. No,
behind
no,
him.
I
He's
believe
done.
you. I believe you. All I'm saying is that his reasoning, I didn't agree with it when he was saying it, but his reasoning was the veteran leadership and things like that, and that he's got a better arm than Darno.
If Molina was 30 or
Yeah.
31, maybe, but Matt Harvey still got a future,
Yeah, no. I feel you. No, I didn't agree with the trade.
Plus, one of these other idiots, Matz, DeGrom, will probably go down with an injury.
Yeah,
so you
someone's
need,
gonna be hurt.
So you need all the depth you can have.
No. I completely agree. I was totally against it. I remembered it, and I was just like, this was stupid. Why are you talking about this? This is not making any sense. If it had some ground, I just don't think that's the real Mets, the Mets kicker, as they say. But man, I'm just so excited for baseball season. I just can't believe. I can't believe how it's the last weeks are going by so slow.
I'm excited for Sunday. I mean, Sunday is opening day.
Yeah.
It's the Yankees versus Rays, and then I think you got the Cubs and
Man,
Cardinals.
who should wait, and so there's
just
no.
happy.
Is there
I'm
any NL East teams? Who's playing?
No, I think Sunday. I think Doug's going to look it up.
What am I gonna watch a game? Should I watch a game? But which game? Give me the games.
Yankees are the first overall game at 1:00. They're playing the Rays at Tampa. There's another game after that. I don't know who it is. I think it might be the Pirates. And then the Sunday night game is, I believe, Cubs versus Cardinals. So
You see, I really.
I just
wish-
want everything
Sunday,
to get
Sunday
started up.
we start off with the Diamondbacks versus the Giants at 4:10.
Right, that's what I was thinking of.
Diamondbacks.
Then you've got Cubs and Cardinals at 8:30.
That's going to be
pretty,
huge.
Pretty damn good
That's
game.
going to be huge, even though.
Then also on Sunday we also got the Yankees at the Rays. Don't care.
yeah, I don't care about that game. I don't care about any of these games so far. I know I sound
I mean, the
terrible.
Cardinals Cubs.
The
is pretty
Cardinals
good.
Cubs is going to
That's
be a good
really
game. I
one.
just don't care about it.
Giants
Yeah.
and Diamondbacks is interesting, but not meh.
No, I'm not watching it.
But that's all we got.
No, I'm not. I'm waiting until the next day. It's not that I have anything against all those teams. It's just that it's just not an NL East thing, and it's not like a. It's just not something
I
that's
don't
going
know.
to.
Cardinals Cubs though is fun.
You know,
Because,
go
you've got
watch
Dexter
it.
Fowler who switched between the two different teams. Jason Hayward used to be a Cardinal.
Just
Even
go, listen,
Lackey that used to be
go
a
watch
Cardinal.
it. I'm. Are you gonna watch it? Are you gonna watch something?
Yeah, I might.
I might
Look,
turn something
I'm just
on.
excited for the baseball season to come
Yeah.
back. So
Why did they Mets have to do it on the other day? Why couldn't they do it on Sunday?
It's fine. It's fine. It gets me.
It's not a
it,
big
it,
deal.
It eases us into the season. You know.
You know what
No,
the
it
thing?
doesn't because of all the off days we're gonna have.
The thing
in
that
first
irks
month.
me is how long spring training is. I think spring training is These guys are ready. These
guys
guys are
have been
good.
ready. They've been ready.
These guys are good to go. And
Do you think it's worth it? Let's just push the season back. Let's just
push it back because you
Let's push it
also have people complaining about how World Series games are going into November. I personally don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a
but
problem with it. I love it too.
But if you don't want games to be played in November, then start the season on March 25th or
Yeah.
March 26th,
So then they're
whatever.
playing in
It's
October
consistently
instead.
each year. I feel like it's been getting later and later.
And
I
also-
remember a point when it was March 30th actually when the opening day was.
And don't get me started about the freaking All-Star break. Why does the All-Star break have to be
Can we
5
just say,
days?
and we had this discussion before, and we'll have it again, but Not right now, but I'm just saying eventually we will. I just think the All-Star game is freaking pointless. It is like
Not the All-Star game, the All-Star break. They've got
Yeah,
a
the
day
whole-
off,
No,
home
but-
run derby, All-Star game,
but the
another
whole,
day off.
Well, first of all, it's a long season, but the game, I think, and this is not. I know that we're not going to really be able to get into it because we don't have a lot of time. We have like 6 minutes, but I got to say this though. The All-Star game. I know that the Derby. I don't watch. I've watched the Derby before, but I don't watch the Derby.
Well, it's gotten better over the past 2
I
years.
know,
will tell
but
you that.
it's the same. I know I'm sounding like a World Baseball Classic type of thing, but I mean, man, the All-Star game is so bad, in my opinion. It is so terrible. I know that they took away the home field advantage thing, which
Because it used to be like,
alright.
oh, this game means something, and
But
everyone's like,
it
the
didn't
AL's going to win it.
because
Like,
we see all these
Yeah.
guys all the time. The reason why the All-Star game originally existed was because like there was not a lot of technology, and it was like you get to see the stars play against each other and stuff like that. And now like everyone looks at the highlights.
Well,
and
it's
everyone
because it
looks at
used to
all
be when
this
players
stuff.
cared about it, that their hard-nosed grinding, like Pete Rose, would break a person's leg, like sliding to home
Yeah,
plate. Like,
it's just not exciting. It's nothing really exciting. To me, it just feels like it is a stupid game.
Now, the All-Star game now doesn't have any bearing on the
No.
home
No,
field advantage.
so-
Now, so is it the team with the best record? Is it the
Yeah,
team with the highest seed?
I
There's
think it's with
nothing.
the best record. I think it's best record.
Which is fair.
Which I think is
Either
extremely
that or
fair.
the highest seed.
Yeah, listen,
But-
it's
I mean, but if they're both one seed, it's like then it goes to like.
Well,
whoever
like-
has
And
more
where
wins.
is
It's
it
like
this
you
year?
did the grind the whole season.
Wait,
you
where
deserve
is
this.
it?
Like,
Is it in Miami?
Yeah.
Where are we? Where are we this? Oh no,
Miami,
It's
it's Miami.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's in Nationals
It's Miami.
Park.
No, it's
I'm
Miami.
almost positive it's Miami.
It's Miami.
Is
Yeah,
it?
I saw on the World Baseball Classic it said home of the 2017 All-Star
Yeah, I
game.
think so.
Oh,
Yeah, because
really?
they had it on the backstop every
Oh,
single
then
time.
the Nationals are coming up in,
oh, yeah. I
in
was like,
next
what?
year. Then I know they're coming. The Nationals
Um,
Park.
San Diego?
No,
That was
No,
last
that
year.
happened already.
Marlins will host
Miami.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. You
Not
know
bad.
that stadium looks nice. I gotta say, even though it's
Well, like that like
ginormous.
little dolphin jumping up over that animatronic
Yeah.
when you hit a
Well,
home run. I'm
that-
like, what is
that,
going on
that
here?
doesn't look so pretty, but I mean the stadium. I gotta say,
like an Alice in
if
Wonderland
there's a
acid
co-
trip.
if
I
there's
know
a
it's very
stadium-
weird looking.
First of all, if there's a stadium that looks nice, it's like not looks nice, but would feel nice to play in. It's got to be that one. It's air conditioned. It's like
Actually, I had a friend that went down there 3 weeks ago, and he said that they went in there. It was extremely nice. Yeah, it was AC
Yeah.
controlled.
Yeah, it's
They got
AC
nice food in there.
controlled.
They said it's perfect. But it's so funny and pathetic that the Marlins, that the World Baseball Classic was the most that they've ever had seats.
yeah,
The ticket spot.
I know. Isn't that insane?
In that stadium.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, that's way to go,
And the
Marlins
World
fans.
Baseball
That you
Classic-
exist. Like,
And by the way, some of those fans, seriously, shout out to those. I mean, like the people from Japan, the people who just flew from Japan. I'm telling you, we take this thing for granted. We just won it, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Dude, these teammates, they're training for 4 years together," and it's like that's a bit much for this tourney.
Well, maybe that's why the U.S. won. You know, because they didn't put any pressure on themselves. They just
Yeah.
went out.
there was
and
no
just
pressure.
Played.
yeah, they
And
didn't have like
again-
a country looking at them where
No.
it's like, all right, we're going to
You know, you had like
Yeah.
you know you had like Giancarlo Stanton going. This
Adam
is it.
Jones had a great.
Adam Jones.
He had that catch against Machado, which
That
was
was-
fantastic. Just the tip of the cap to your teammate, where it's just like,
Yeah, I think it makes it even better
It-
that they're teammates. It's
Yeah,
just fun.
it was. Listen, I saw the highlights, and again, when I watched the Japan game, I was like, man, this is something. This is something special. So, you know, we only have like about 10 seconds left. So, yeah, there's 10 seconds left. in the
Mets,
show.
baby.
let's go Mets. I'm
Let's
excited
go
for
Mets.
this.
It's been a
Let's
long
go.
time coming.
It's been way too
I
long.
still
This
have
is the year of vengeance.
I still have flashes of Connor Gillespie.
Oh, I
hitting
hear the shed where the metal
I
hits
hear
up.
the shed.
I hear it in the middle of my
You were
night
standing
slice.
right there,
I was
right?
standing right there. and
I was standing right there. I hear
All
bam.
right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Not sure what a hashtag is? What's a tweet anyway? Instagram? This introductory class on Wednesday, March 22nd at 6:45 p.m. in the Gold Coast Public Library will help. Learn about tweeting, posting pictures online, and other mysteries. For more info, call 516-759-8300 or visit goldcoastlibrary.org. The community calendar is a public service from your friends at 88.1 FM and WCWP.org.
MyWCWP.org is your source for LIU Post Campus Radio. Listen live 24/7 on the web. Check out our videos, link to our social media, and get in touch with us. It's all online at MyWCWP.org.
WCWP
Brookville, 88.1 FM, LIU Post Public Radio, WCWP.org.